This is me. This is Allie. We're engaged. But our pop culture references go over each other's heads. So this is the show where we bridge our cultural gap. This is Allie Hasn't.
Thank you for leaving your areas of isolation and joining us out in the park. These times have caused probably some anxiety with doing weddings, and it may not be what you envisioned as a young girl, Allie. We don't know, but this is going to be memorable, right? 2020 weddings will be memorable because of just the difference in them. But we're happy that you're here. You guys look fantastic, and let's start this. Today's outward celebration that we're having is an expression of the inner love and devotion that Doug and Allie have for one another. These two met almost 4 years ago. You probably all know the story. In September 2016 at Trees Coffee downtown. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a weekly music night, and Doug saw this beautiful girl and he needed her number, and so he wrote her a note signing it, "Your friendly neighborhood barista." Is that right? Yeah? Okay, oh man, this should be a movie. She fell for his charms and they had their first date the very next day, and so here we are. Wow, it went really well. I asked these two when I met with them earlier to share some reasons why they want to be married, and Doug said, "Allie brings me joy. She trusts me and I trust her. She supports my goals and dreams." He said that we make each other laugh, and I can see that you do that. "Allie gets me out of the house more." That's a great reason to get married, I think. "She believes in me, and she's pretty cute." Good words, Doug. Allie said, "Doug is so patient and understanding. We are both comfortable being goofballs." Do you remember writing these? Yeah, that's good. "He makes me feel safe and never judged. I can be vulnerable with him. He genuinely makes me laugh and see the bright side. He is selfless, compassionate, and forgiving. He listens and remembers even when I don't. And Doug kills the spiders." That's good stuff, you two. Douglas James Charles Ferguson, will you take Allie to be your wedded wife, to live together in the holy estate of matrimony? Will you love her, comfort her, honor her, and keep her in sickness and in health? And forsaking all others, keep yourself only to her, as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Alyssa Marie Abella, will you take Doug to be your wedded husband, to live together in the holy state of matrimony? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only to him, as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Yeah, of course you will. It's good. Now, Doug and Allie, they've written their own vows that they're going to share with one another at this time.
Do you want to go first or should I go first?
Doug can go first.
Okay.
I'll just make the decision.
Okay. All right. Dear Allie, my first vow is to only make promises that I can keep. And I feel with the utmost confidence that I can keep these ones. I promise to be handsome and in good shape forever. Sorry. I promise to listen, not always agree, but hear your point of view. And if I'm not listening, just poke me a few times. Okay. I promise to get outside and go on adventures with you. I promise we'll get you your mandatory Allie sun time. I promise we can stay in and have comfy days with premium snuggles. I promise to catch you up on Star Trek, at least as long as you want to keep going. But I also promise that TNG gets better after season 2.
Thank you.
Yes. I promise to be very silly with you. I can't help it, so you just have to realize that that's what you're in for. But I'm joking, of course, because I know that's one of my selling points. I promise to not just let you win and us to lose. So get ready for some real competition. That's definitely why you've been winning so much lately. I promise to make you laugh. I'm super funny, so don't worry, it'll be easy. I promise to tell you the truth about yourself, even when your brain is telling you the opposite. I promise to provide hugs when you need them, but also just in general. I promise to keep looking at you, Allie, like I am the luckiest man alive, because I clearly am. I promise to show you that you're special and important to me, and if I'm distracted, just poke me a few times and I'll get there. I'll get back to showing you that you're special. And most of all, I promise the same thing I promised you back in September of 2016. I promise to make you smile every day, and that's a lifetime subscription to Smiles, if you share your lifetime with me.
My love, 3 years ago, after only a few months of dating, we had already envisioned ourselves getting married and spending the rest of our lives together. And now we stand at the precipice of our future, more in love and dedicated than ever. I have always been a strong believer that exercising free will is the most powerful thing a person can do, and I am especially proud that my choices have led to you. So I, with this God-given right, make the choice to commit myself to you and our marriage. I choose to be honest, loyal, compassionate, and tolerant of your ridiculous jokes. I choose to be patient, to be silly, and to remember that we are a team. And I choose to be your friend, your confidant, and your cheerleader. I choose to stand by you in difficult times because they will come, and they have come, obviously. But we'll do it together. I am choosing you. But these vows I'm making are nothing new. We have always chosen to love and take care of each other. We have always made the choice to be kind and considerate and to put each other first. So, darling, I promise to keep making these choices and to keep choosing you.
Good job, you guys. Very heartfelt. Nice. Doug has some rings in his pocket. The rings, somewhere, you showed me. The rings that you are about to exchange are symbolic of purity and constancy. That's why we wear them. The constancy of the love that you've just pledged to one another. Doug, would you place Allie's ring on her finger and repeat after me? With this ring I marry you.
With this ring I marry you.
And with all that I am and all that I have,
And all that I am and all that I have,
I give myself to you.
I give myself to you.
Allie, would you place Doug's ring on his finger? With this ring I marry you.
With this ring, I marry you.
And with all that I am and all that I have,
And with all that I am and all that I have,
I give myself to you.
I give myself to you.
Now that Doug and Allie have consented together in holy marriage and have pledged their faith and love to each other in the sight of God and in the sight of these fantastic witnesses, I pronounce that they are husband and wife in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Allie and Doug, you can smooch.
You guys can start cheering.
Ladies and gentlemen, I take great pleasure in introducing to you Mr. and Mrs. Doug and Allie Ferguson. Yay!
And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my heart could ever hold. I heard someone whisper, please adore me. And
Hello! I actually think that's very cute.
So look at this. Look at this.
We have a surprise!
We got hitched. It's been a weird time to get married. So yeah, if you're watching from the future, they're like, what was so weird about getting married in 2020? I'll tell you why. We've been engaged since July 2018.
Yes. Do you want to say where we got engaged?
Sure. I proposed to her
at Lynn Valley. In Lynn Valley, it was
Lynn Canyon specifically, like
Lynn
in the
Canyon.
river.
Yeah. I'm like, will you marry me? She's like, we were on a rock.
Yes.
No, we weren't in the river.
Not the rock, but a rock.
Is there
And-
a rock that is specific to?
No, I was making a Dwayne Johnson joke.
Oh, nice. I love those.
But that was actually the first time we had been there together. But it was a place that was significant to me, at least emotionally. It was a place that my family had taken me to a lot and almost died a few times, like slipping and tripping and...
Allie loves places where she's almost died. I kind of wanted to get married sooner, but we kind of like looked at the logistics of everything and
Finances.
and then we settled on May the 4th, even though Star Wars Day, we just knew that was a hit and take. May the 4th, 2020.
Yes. So within the 2 years of us being engaged, so starting from 2018 all the way to, I guess, like the few months prior to us getting married, we had everything sorted out. We had our venue, our clothes that we were going to wear, so dress and tux. We had our party set up. We had our caterer. Just so we had everything put together. The only thing we really need to finish was finishing the final bill.
Yeah, basically we were still paying for everything.
Yeah, that was it.
And we even started working on our honeymoon,
Yeah,
which was going to be in September.
we booked it.
Things were looking pretty good.
And then the world ended.
And then everything went crazy. COVID-19 hit the world, became a pandemic that's, started off, it's sort of like in certain places, but next thing you know, it was just everywhere. I don't know of any place that wasn't affected to some degree. Everything was locked down, places were closed. I think it was our catering company that kind of put the final nail in the coffin, because we were starting to think, it's like, oh, I don't know if this thing will be sorted out by May. And then they basically said, like, hey, look, everything's being shut down, so we're gonna have to basically reschedule it. And then
this was about late March.
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, in March that was the big turning point, was March, where it just seemed like, okay, well, you know what, maybe this will just be a few weeks. We wanted to make the final call in April if we wanted to reschedule, but definitely by late March, we kind of knew it wasn't going to happen for May. Yeah, with a very heavy heart, we messaged our friends and everything and basically said, like, sorry guys, wedding's canceled. Well, no, not canceled. No. But the party is canceled. We could not...
Not canceled, postponed.
Correct. To a date that is, still a little up in the air at this moment.
Because the world is still ending.
Yes, things didn't get better. Honestly, we want to bring people who are elderly. We also want to bring in people from across the border. We want to have everyone included as best we can. Realistically, yeah, May wasn't going to happen. And we're looking at August, and we're still not sure if August is going to happen.
Just because we have to deal with the whole second wave, and it's such a big gathering, we don't want to risk it. So it may even have to be postponed for next year.
But we decided that, yes, we were actually going to get married regardless. We were going to tie the knot, and we were gonna find a way, damn it.
So we had an impromptu wedding. So in Vancouver, I don't know how prevalent this is to a lot of other places, you can have a wedding outdoors without a permit, provided you have under 15 people, or 15 and under,
Yeah.
and you don't have a setup, so you can't have like an arch or chairs or whatever. So everyone was just standing.
So we had to keep it very minimal. We basically had to send our regrets to some friends.
It was like skeleton crew. We had our parents there, siblings, and literally like our two best friends in the world that, like, I think our hearts would just be absolutely broken if they didn't show up. So
Yeah. Well, originally what we're going to do is we're going to actually do it in the living room, just on the other side of this wall. But we couldn't figure out a way to do that.
safely.
Yeah, and without people actually being able to distance. But there is a park that's really close by.
Literally next door.
You ride across the street, and there's a really nice garden. And then basically, we could have the 15 people and have everyone spaced out in a safe way. So that's what we did. It sucks that we weren't even able to have our original whole wedding party.
You didn't have some of your friends there. I didn't have, like, because my wedding party consisted of my sister and my best friend whom I've known since I was 3 years old, and my cousins who were like siblings to me. But with the power of technology, we did live streaming is one of the things that we did. We also just did like a video conference for those that still wanted to witness but we couldn't have in person.
So some people got to see it happen live, which was great. It was not what we imagined, but
it was so pretty. It was still so pretty. I can't even emphasize how pretty this garden was. It was gorgeous. For what we managed to do in that little time, and especially his mom has been amazing, just trying to put everything together. She was like, this is still your wedding day and I still want to make it special for you. She's incredible, and just like both of our parents have been so lovely throughout this whole thing.
And really fortunate that everyone who we've talked to has been super understanding about the fact that, you know, there's no drama. No one was like, oh, well, you have to invite me.
Like, well, I have to come.
Yeah, like oh. Everyone was really great about just understanding the weirdness of the situation. So yeah, honestly, thank you so much to everybody. It really means a lot that, you know, this could have been a lot more stressful.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this could have been a lot worse. It wasn't what we imagined, but I had a good time, and everyone was amazing. So.
And so what the plans are for the future. So while Doug and I are kind of sort of trying to get our life together at the same time as the pandemic is happening, we will still be having that traditional reception at a later date. We don't even know when. But I'm still looking forward to that. I want to party with my family.
Honestly, like, life's just gonna be, we're just gonna have to figure it out as we go for a little while. Because right now, we're living with my folks, and we were hoping to like go and move together and have a place of our own soon. But we're both out of work, so because
of the pandemic,
everything's changed.
So it's a soft moving in together.
It's a soft moving in, yeah. So she's just here with me,
and it's been so nice, honestly.
It's been nice, even though she's a bed hog.
It's like a puppy. You bring them into. Oh wait, this is a weird analogy. So things, a few plans are still up in the air in addition to our wedding, so our honeymoon as well, just because vacations are a little iffy as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, who knows when we're going to be able to take a honeymoon. Regardless, our life together has started.
Yeah.
Or is on its next chapter.
Yes.
Because we started it a while ago.
Yeah. And I want to take this opportunity to actually announce I guess it's a new project that we're going to be working on together.
Yeah.
It sounds a little pretentious to call it like we're gonna do relationship advice, but we do want to make a channel on, so I guess it is relationship advice, but more than just generic situations, but I guess specifically for people who want to ask personal questions, and if for anyone who wants to ask, like, well, what qualifies you to give relationship advice? Like, one, for couples who have cultural differences, not everyone has an interracial relationship. And so if like this is your first time getting into one, then please, if you have any other questions. We have an 8-year age gap.
So there's a bit of a generational difference as well.
Hence, Allie hasn't.
Hence, Allie hasn't, exactly. We have, without getting into it right now, there have been things happen in previous relationships that are not typical. Let's say there's some pretty big things that have happened to us that some people who go through them might feel like people wouldn't understand, might feel isolated, and maybe we can help them not feel so isolated.
And one of the biggest things, especially because it was especially relevant and important to us, what it's like being in a relationship with someone who's mentally ill, and what it's like if you've never experienced it, and how to persevere it, as well as someone who has that mental illness. So the channel is not opened yet. We're hoping to maybe film a few videos. We have to come up with a name.
Yeah, we're brainstorming that one.
And then we'll also have an email just in case people want to be anonymous. So we'll start it off with maybe taking relationship questions from like friends or coming up with our own, but we do want to hear from other people.
It'll be an exciting undertaking, and we will update this channel to point people to that channel. But I also suspect that they'll almost have different audiences, so I'm excited about it nevertheless. I've been thinking about this for a while, and it just seems like a good time to get the ball rolling.
Yeah. Since this video is being filmed right now, how long have we been married for?
What day is it today?
Wednesday, so...
so a week and 2 days.
A week and 2 days.
9 days. 9 days of marriage. So we basically got this.
Alright, I think that's all we have for today.
I feel good about that.
Alright.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.